This is a track review of the Supercross coming into Glendale, Arizona. First off, I want to point out a few spots on the track. So you can see 1, 2, all the green X's here. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 180s. These are turns where you turn 180 degrees and they allow for a lot of opportunity for people to dive in and cut underneath you and take out your line. Now, that makes for good racing for us as fans. And then also there's this section where they've split the lane. It's a split lane section where I think they'd have a possibility of cross jumping and making use of both lanes, but they certainly intended not to have that happen. Got our usual start presenting by Yamaha, and we're going to come down the starting straight. This is an incredibly long start. So this is a high speed. It's going to put us into question on whether they want to line up on the left side of the box or the right side of the box for the start for the advantage. Because certainly if they get pinched off, they're going to be forced wide. And then we come into just a standard rhythm lane on-off section, a couple triples, and then we come into our first 180 degree turn. Look at this. You can cut them in, right? In order to carry the speed through the bowl, you need to go wide. And that would allow you to set up and triple out, but you're going to have this huge opportunity to get undercut. And guys like Cooper Webb or Jason Anderson, who are pretty good at turning down tight, are able to take advantage of this. And then we're coming into bowl turn number 2. And so let's move me here. The reason I'm calling this out is it's a BAM corner. BAM! You can see as you go wide to carry speed entering into the whoops, guys like Justin Barcia are going to be able to cut under you. And yes, it's going to screw up your whip speed, but it's going to slow both of you down. So the advantage is lost by going wide. So it's a definite area where you've got to cover your lines. We're coming through. This is the Tomac Blitz. That's how I always think of it anyway. And then as we come into that corner, if they dive in wide, there's going to be a rut formed on the outside of that corner. And we've seen Chase Sexton literally crash off of that wall a couple times. And so that might be a dangerous spot for Chase Sexton. We come into the finish. There's probably no fanfare in this section because the corner is so wide and sweeping. There's probably just not going to be a lot of opportunity for passing. But this corner should be pretty awesome. And I put the orange in for Cooper Webb because Cooper Webb is so good at turning down tight and coming in on the lower end of the section and still figuring out a way. So he'll probably come in, roll the first one, and then double in and smooth out the corner. And I think that's probably a good passing spot. Time will tell. We'll definitely enjoy the time qualifying as we come through this section. And so then just a sweep here, and then this is McAdoo's nightmare. Right? McAdoo, I would freak out every time I ever saw one of these underovers because he's the only guy I've ever seen who can crash uphill. It makes me a little bit nervous that Chase is going to have some issues, possibly here, right? As he comes in, if he, I don't know, somehow crashes on a straight again, this would be X marks the spot. Boom. Poor Chase going down right before the overpass. I hope that doesn't happen, but it could. We've got another standard rhythm section, and then we come into the 180 bull turn. And again, this bull turn has got that high risk, cut underneath, bam, kind of section. And so we want to be aware of that. And then as we turn in, this is probably the best part of the whole track as far as rhythms go. So we're thinking in the purple, you could triple and then triple out over the overpass on the inside lane. But there's also this possibility in the green where you triple and cross over and land, right? Landing on that on-off. And then that would set up a new rhythm that could have some interesting combinations. And then finally, a triple on the far outside, carrying all that speed. And they definitely have it designed for that. But then look at what it leads into in this next section. The way that after you're set up, and I just thought, man, this is like perfect kickstart Kenny, right? Because look at what happens here. If he triples in, he can triple right out and swoop that section. And it'll force you wide like through the mechanics area, but I think it would carry enough speed that it wouldn't matter. And then secondly, I thought, these little ones, and this is totally a joke, but these little ones, they just remind me of a Tomac Blitz. It's like, who knows what he's going to do in that section. We'll have to watch and see. So then we turn right into the mechanics area, and we've completed our lap. And then the last thing is this Tomac Beast Mode whoop section.